Table of magical plant materials. We have ramps, which are in bloom, which were collected, and the corms are down in the soil. These are pretty amazing. I've never tried to grow them, but we want to have them in our own garden because we like to harvest the foliage, and you can dehydrate it. I pulverize it and put it into a little container so I can shake it into something that's very mild flavor. And then the roots, which are here, I've been pickling them. They are delicious, and I've got little chopped up examples. But see, it has a big bulb. It takes 7 years to get to be this size. So it's really good if you just use the foliage instead of the whole bulb. And I did this so I could pickle them for our foraging experience. Aren't they fun? I put some leaves of pickled, I use apple cider vinegar, by the way. It's sweeter than regular vinegar, and so it's a little cloudy looking because of that, but they're really, really good. So I've just displayed it on a little table so you can see the actual this, and you can pick up a piece of that. It's been pickled. It's very sweet. It's lovely and mild. And ramps are very much an Appalachian delicacy, and they grow on very well-drained slopes next to waterfalls or a steep hillside, so they're well-drained. And they form colonies, and they reproduce literally by seeds, which take forever, or they have a root that comes out and it makes another one, another one, another one, another one. So when you start harvesting the whole patch, you can destroy its vitality for many, many years. So the idea that I think is so cool that the Cherokees use is that they use the sign of, I believe it's the sign of 7, that you take 1 and leave 6. It's something like that. It's not take 6 and leave 1, but it's a wonderful concept of leaving only, taking only a little bit of what nature has provided you. But the leaves are fair game on ramps, so we like that. Then I like to put my things in these jars and put them on the table in the kitchen because I can kind of look over them, and I'm testing things right now. For instance, I don't know if you can see this, but it's a little flower, and this is something you could easily forage from your own gardens. I think it pickles really well. This is just a kale flower. Isn't it beautiful? It looks better in the water now. but I think it's really pretty, and I didn't know what it would do. So experimentation is A+ in my book. Just keep trying to fiddle with it. And today you're having tea that was made from, I picked this yesterday. It's white pine. They're about 4 inches long. You put them in boiling water for about, so this is just like a handful. I just snipped them off the edges of my limbs, put them in boiling water, and then I let them steep literally about maybe 4 hours, and I boiled it one more time to sort of extract out some more of the pine. And then I added, I think, a couple of these blossoms just to make it look pretty in the vase, which is sitting on the table. And then I added some maple syrup to it to make it have a really true natural product for a sweetener. And I added 1 tea bag of wild child chai, and that's why it has the sort of cinnamon taste to it. But wild child is a really great chai. I like it, and then I sell it at Ingles. So that was sort of fun. And then here, the last thing for show and tell. If you don't know about apple cider vinegar, it comes in these. I buy these big size ones. It is sweet. This is chickweed. It's in everybody's garden. And so I harvested a whole lot of it recently because it's only around for a little while and then other things take over. But this comes right up. Its foliage doesn't have a whole lot of interest, but the good thing is it's the very earliest plant that comes up. It's nutritious. And let me talk about nutrition real quickly. This is why foraging is so interesting. Plants that grow naturally, roots or they're native plants, they have zillions more nutrition in them than you can get at the grocery store. So that is worth knowing about and using them. I mean, there are charts of how much more each one offers, but things like chickweed are the earliest emergence in our gardens, and what I did was simply blend it up. Look at that beautiful, that is just a cider apple vinegar with chickweed and lemon juice. A little bit of lemon juice. It's delicious, so feel free to taste it. I've had it stored in the refrigerator. I usually use glassware when I store things, but I also really like these big clamp down lids that you get from the Container Store, because when you start making these things, you tend to make a lot of it, and you may not have a lot of little jars to put them in. And we'll be talking about how to best hold your things, as the years go on, so that you can keep them at least through the winter. And then the last thing I'll share with you is this opportunity to study with Isla Hatter. She will be with us for basically 3 learning sessions in the Smokies. And here's the information if you'd like to just look through it. So that is my show and tell for now. Oh, and let me tell you one more little thing. This is fabulous. Doug Elliott is a really incredible Appalachian storyteller. He's won every amazing award. And so if you want a good book to give, we don't sell it here, but I love this. It's called 2 Ways to Choke an Owl. He's very funny, and he bases everything he tells you about on Native American and Appalachian culture. So I love Doug Elliott. Well, you all, thank you so much. Why don't we go on and we can go over right now, which is our next phase, over to the Zahner's Garden Center, which is Chautauqua Gardens. And what they suggested that we do, because we have a small group, we can either walk. I'm happy with driving over there. You might want to buy some things. I highly recommend it. And they've set up a little display for us, and Jeff's going to just walk us through and answer your questions about and narrate what they have that grows well here. And I'm in particular in the market for pawpaws. I want to grow pawpaws. It's the most delicious fruit you've ever had, and I've never had a pawpaw before. And as we walk toward your cars, I want to show you where we have our edibles garden that has a lot of unusual native plant material and cultivated sort of salad greens that I just got from the Asheville Farmers Market about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We haven't even had time to get them in the ground yet. But when you come back next week or week after from now on, watch how these things grow, because I'll be using them, in these displays to share with you items that you can grow in your own property. Sound like a good show for you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
I have one question.
Yes.
That pot with the wire in it, is that to hang on a tree or something?
Oh, it was just useful. I thought that it would be it's an orchid pot, and it actually, I just put it in here because it would be very well drained.
Could you hang it on a tree?
You could.
Just drill holes in there.
Well, their holes are already in it. This was from the old Smith & Hawken, and they sold these. So it's really just an orchid pot. You could probably order these, and I just put it, like I said, because it was well drained for the ramps. It was actually kind of a lucky thing. I put them in there. It needed to be well drained. It's happy. So thank you so much for the question. We've got lots more answers, and stump this expert, please. Thanks. We'll go on and look at things over here. Also, we've got